Just got started, took all this glass down. They replaced their valve, so I cut out these tiles so they could put the new valve in, and then I patched it. But as I was looking, see that how swollen that is? They hadn't used it for about a week, and I even put my moisture meter on, and it was just soaking wet. So you can see the tiles are starting to pop off. So we're gonna do a bottom replacement. So here we go, I just started taking this off. Here's some of the mortar, and it's definitely mastic. They stuck this whole shower with mastic. And they use red guard, which that's cool, but they didn't put anything in the corners. They just painted it. I guess they painted it and then they put it in. Boy, this is a can of worms. Okay, so we got the mastic situation going on over there. No corner treatment. They built the curb. After the fact, they tiled underneath the curb. It's almost like they tried to curb-less shower and didn't have the ability or something, who knows. All right, so don't just hire the cheapest person. Get somebody that knows what they're doing. All right, check this out. There's no way, and I'm barely putting any effort, there's no way that thin set could scrape off that easy. The mastic just turns to mush. Check out the back of this tile. The tile's wet. Alright, so I've seen this before, but I've chipped down enough. This is where the hole is, where the pipe comes up through the slab. And I don't have my jackhammer right now, but this is just bare concrete. So that's gonna get me to the pipe, this. There's no shower pan at all. That's what I was looking for. So it's gonna be wet under here. Here we go, still chipping away. You can see as I get more of this chipped, it's actually starting to dry out. And their shower floor, their float was above this, where the concrete goes, it was above this section right here. That don't work if you're using mastic and you ain't got no waterproofing or anything else. Anywho, I told this customer what was happening is the water is gonna go under the mortar bed. It's gonna go around this hole where the drain is and underneath the concrete. And you might think to yourself, you know, what's the problem with that? You don't want a bunch of water going underneath your concrete. It'll eventually wash away and compact a lot of that dirt, and you'll just have a huge hollow void underneath your slab, which when it moves, not if it moves, it can just create more problems of things cracking. This is a brick home, that's what I'm looking for. It's a brick home on slab, so it's just the way they did this was silly. Check this out, I just now noticed this. That's all soap scum. The situation over here was from not caring, or not knowing, I'm sorry. But you can see here there's wood, and this sounds like a concrete bench. Let me give it a little tap. Hang on there a second. There we go. Sounds solid, right? This is what it should sound like if it was wood. That's loose. That's a loose tile, but for the most part it sounds solid. So I don't know what on earth. They put a piece of OSB there, and you can see that it's just saturated. Maybe they put that there to stack their tile on. No earthly idea, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep on digging. Look here. Still dealing with mastic. See how, like, I can just plow right through that. Not much effort at all. This is thin set. See how strong that is? I can't ply, go right through that. So who knows what the heck was going on. All right, check this out. This is the whole reason. See that little slight bump? No one would ever notice that unless you know what to look for. The plate behind, it's not in that bad a shape. It will dry off, that it's gonna be okay. So we got the top of the bench off, and I'm gonna go ahead and face. Since the glass goes on top of the bench, I'm just gonna waterproof to right here, because I gotta reuse the glass. So we're working on a limited budget, and the budget does not allow for the entire shower to be demoed out and put back. So customer knows that, and they've already expressed their concerns. So we are going to clean up everything as best as I can, and then I'm going to get busy on putting it back. So they had the red guard before with no membrane cloth, mesh cloth. I used the fiberglass Mape 6-inch roll, but anywho, I've got where the concrete meets the wallboard all painted up. I got the corners done. I got the bench done, up and over, down and over, and then one cover on that side. That corner is done. But because of the way the glass sits on here, we got to reuse the glass, and the bench comes all the way out. I got to save as much of this tile as I can, so I can't come out any farther. But anywho, this is what it's looking like so far. Look, check this out. When you're using one of these drains, they've got those little honeycombs on the back of them. Take your pointer. Where is it? Right here. Take some thin set. Boom. And scrub it underneath all the way around. So my dad said he didn't like these drains because he said it was hollow. But then you take your mud and you pack it underneath. Really get it in there. And that way, you can hear where it's not solid yet. That way, when you come back, it'll be solid. Get it in there as deep as you can. I already bent my fingernail backwards. Just be careful. Okay, so here we go. This is day 3, I think. Yeah, day 3. I know a lot of folks would have had this done in one day, but I'm just taking my time. Anywho, I've got all the corners with bands on them, and I'll put my band around the bottom. I floated the bottom yesterday. Actually left about an inch gap. So I'm gonna put a couple strips of backer board across here and then seal that up and paint it as well. And that way the glass is sitting right on top of that backer board, and then it'll jet down into the shower. So we're just trying to create a water containment. So as the majority of the water comes down, it goes straight to the drain. I didn't use sluted membrane or uncoupling membrane on this. I just yesterday thin setted my float to the ground and pat my drain down, and check out this sound. Let's see here. My ring works really good. Hear how that's loose. Hear how that sounds solid. Now this is my dad's complaint, that these drains, he can't get them solid. That's solid. All the way around, so we know whenever the customer steps on it, it's not going to have any flexion up or down. That's what you want. About 4 super liberal coats, and not the liberal sense where I'm taking from others to support myself. Anywho, I guess the extreme liberal. How about that? Went old school on this. 6-inch fiberglass mesh in all the corners around the seams. Went ahead and did the curb. I had to build it out some. But yeah, this is ready to contain water now. So awesome. It's ready to let dry and then tile. Here we go. Getting her done. Okay, here we go. Fixing to put this glass back on. This grout is still drying because the thin set's still wet. Not a perfect match, but there's a shower pan in there now. And we got a lip. So, good to go. Okay, here we go. Got all the glass back where it belongs. Got my silicone on. Just waiting for it to dry. So, should be a good little shower for a while now. This was all set yesterday. It's still drying. Also, I put a good amount of fall on the curb. I made sure the curb had slope going in. The concrete right here, it dips down. It's riding high, and then so the curb is level, and then it pitches in. Leaky. Boom. Like it never happened.